Hello, my name is Cindy Bennett and welcome to my channel. This video is going to be just a little video all about me and me as a person, teacher, and YouTuber. So first of all, thank you for coming to my channel and I really appreciate it. I have over 600 subscribers, and if you are new to my channel, I would love it if you would join the new subscribers, and my goal is to get to 1,000. So thank you for helping me out. So first of all, I I love teaching. I have always loved teaching ever since I was a young kid. I've always been involved in teaching children. And I always loved school too. I always loved to read, and crazy enough, I've always loved math and just anything new to learn. That's me. So I went to college and I majored in math education. And so when I got out of college, I actually didn't go straight into teaching. I became a real estate secretary. That was my first job. I lived in the town where my college was. My husband was finishing up with his college degree. And so this was a job that I found, and I really, really loved that job. But from there, I did go on to be a teacher in person. And then I found out I was expecting my first child. We moved out of that state. We moved to a whole new place, and I decided I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. So I was a stay-at-home mom for a while. I taught in a small Christian school, and then eventually I just stayed home and I became a homeschool mom. I homeschooled for about 15 years, and after a few of my older ones started going out on their own, I decided to help out in a nearby Christian school. And it just worked out that there was a nearby Christian school that needed a teacher, and my kids were anxious to try going to school. At that time, all the kids I had never been to a school. And so they were excited to meet some new friends and see what it was like going to school. And it was a lot of fun for them being in school with other students, and also, being part of sports teams and things like that. So as a teacher, I know a lot of aspects of education. I know all about homeschooling. I know about teaching in person. I know what it's like to get that college degree. And I also, the last 4 years, I became a virtual teacher. And many of the teacher friends that I have met through YouTube and online were teachers from the VIP Kid community. VIP Kid is a company that teaches kids in China how to speak English. And they wanted American speaking people to help them so that they could help them, with to be a natural, fluent American speaker as best they could. And so I learned all about virtual teaching through VIP Kid, and they had tons of training. I also became the iPad guru because my first 1,000 classes I taught on my iPad. So I had a group on Facebook. I still have it, although I don't teach as much for VIP Kid from my iPad, but the group is still there, VIP Kid iPad Users Group. And in that group, I shared all kinds of tips and tricks about using your iPad for teaching. And I met a lot of people from all over the world that also taught with VIP Kid. So at one point, VIP Kid kind of shut their doors a little bit. I think now they're kind of opening up. I don't know the exact situation, but for me, I kind of pivoted onto in-person teaching again. And so I have done a lot of virtual teaching. I'm right now doing a lot of in-person teaching, but I also still have my certificate or whatever. I've signed my contract for VIP Kid. I can still teach for them. And I also worked for GoGo Kid, and I do work for outschool.com. So in June, I did a really fun craft class in for outschool.com. July, I'm taking a break. Sometimes you just need a break. So during the month of July, I am going to be connecting with some online teacher friends. I have a few interviews this week with different teachers that I met through the YouTube community and through VIP Kid, and we're pivoting to new companies. I have an interview tomorrow, which is Tuesday. I have a couple more interviews coming up, so I'm really excited about sharing with my viewers some other teachers that are from VIP Kid or virtual teaching and some companies that they're working for. And I want to share with my viewers and tell you guys how everybody's doing and the new companies, how they're doing, and how they have handled their pivoting situation. And so if you're watching this video as a former VIP Kid teacher, my heart goes out to you. I really miss the VIP Kid teaching. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of training and there were a lot of connections made. We had lots of groups. Now I hear that they're still having meetups. If you go to their portal and you go to the meetup section, you can still meet up with other teachers for different activities. And some people are still teaching with VIP Kid. Tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing Jason and he's still teaching with VIP Kid and getting quite a few classes. So that's really cool. So as far as my teaching background, like I said, I have a lot of different experiences and I really love in-person teaching, but I love online teaching too. So I'm teaching right now. I have some kids that are in the school and they really love going to school and I like being there face to face. But I also have on my channel some videos that I can send parents to for explanations of different math concepts. I teach math all day, and sometimes we get kids from other places. They might be behind on fractions or decimals or percent. So I made a few videos to help out with those concepts, and I will continue making those videos as needed. And I have them in a playlist, and it's playlist math concepts. So if you go to my channel and you just click on playlist, you'll see a playlist of math concepts. You'll also see some garden videos. I have lots of garden videos on my channel because some of my VIP Kid teacher friends inspired me to get gardening and I have gotten hooked on it. So you can see I have a playlist for garden videos. I also have a playlist for collaborations that I've had with other teacher friends that I've met online and other interesting people that I've been able to interview. And I plan to keep on interviewing people as I can, as I find new people, and it's a really great opportunity for me to meet new people. It's really awesome to do this online. As far as my education, I went to the public school system up to 8th grade. When I was in 8th grade, where I live in New Hampshire. There's not very many big cities, but to me it was kind of a big city and I didn't really want to go to the city school. So I ended up for my 4 years of high school, I went to what we call a Christian school. And it's a private school, but it's also kind of like a ministry. So the people that work there are people who have given their lives to serve. So they're not like high paid private school teachers as you might think of as a private school. They're more like church workers. They kind of sacrifice a lot to be able to teach kids who go to a Christian school. And for that 4 years, I just absolutely loved my experience. I was able to sit under some amazing people who have given their lives in ministry. I had Bible classes every day. We had chapel every day. We had choir. Choir was unique. We had choir every single day at 8 o'clock a.m. and we sang for like 40 or 50 minutes and it was never long enough. So, and then we would have our day of classes. And what we would do during that time is we would prepare for different programs during the school year. And the biggest thing that we did was in the spring, we would do what you call choir tour. We would go to churches on the weekends and we would sing in their churches and minister to them with Christian songs. And we also would go on a 1 week trip, and we would go in the bus and we would travel, and every night we would stay in homes by the church people. The church people would set us up in homes in that area. So one year we drove up north to Canada area. One year we drove out west. One year we drove south. And one year we stayed right in New England area, which New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, that general area. So it was a wonderful experience. I loved every minute of it. And some people might think that it was kind of restricting because we had a lot of rules and we had to behave and we had to follow the rules. And if we didn't, we had some really serious consequences. But when you start out going into that school, you agree to it, you know. And for me, I was perfectly fine with the rules and I agreed. Sometimes I did disobey the rules and I got in trouble. But if it's just, you know, kids are kids, right? And you get in trouble, and I didn't get into any major difficulties that would prevent me. You know, some people would be asked to leave if they didn't follow the rules according to their, you know, request. And we got what you call demerits. You would get so many demerits, like we had to clean our rooms. You get so many demerits if you didn't clean your room, or if you're late to class, or if you are disrespectful to a teacher, or all kinds of things. And you had up to a certain number of demerits, and then you would be kind of what you call disciplined, and they would have to review your case and see if you want to keep going or not. But for me, I just loved the environment. I loved the experience. I loved the teachers, and I learned a lot. And from there, I went to a Christian college, and that was in South Carolina. And it was kind of a similar situation where, you know, you just follow these rules. To some people, they were very restrictive rules. To me, it was okay. I was willing to follow those rules, and I loved the experience. I graduated in 4 years. I was married after my junior year of college. So we ended up moving down to where our college was. I finished 1 more year, and my husband had 2 more years to finish up. And so we lived in that state of South Carolina for a while. Then we moved up to Wisconsin, where my husband got his first, you know, real job after college. And then I became a stay-at-home mom at that time. And so those were a lot of changes for a young couple, but that's what we did. So I just want to say that I have really loved the journey that I have been on so far. And I'm thankful that I have 13 children, and my youngest now is 14. And so it's been really fun for me to kind of spread my wings a little bit into my own interests, you know, and I'm always thinking about what the kids would want or where I should guide them to, you know, plans that they want to make, and trying to make sure that they get the education that they need. And so I feel like I've been able to work a little bit on me, and I've enjoyed learning new things. I'm glad that virtual teaching came into the picture, and I'm glad that I met a lot of great friends on YouTube. And I'm looking forward to other videos like this. I have other friends that are making all about me videos, and we have a video challenge right now going on. So if you're in that video challenge, thank you so much for watching this video. And I'd love it if you would just put a comment below and let me know you're here, let me know your name, and I want to go to your channel and watch your video. So that's it for today, and I look forward to the next video challenge. Thank you, Casey. I'll see you next time, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.